So, good morning to my dear students. I welcome you all into the Industrial Pharmacy First. Dear student, we are on to the tablets, and today probably we are on to the very last lecture associated with the tablets. So in our previous lecture we had gone through the dissolution, then purpose of dissolution, then its definition, how the dissolution that will occur. Then we saw the different steps, then we saw the dissolution apparatus and its requirement, its composition and its different specifications. Further, we saw what the dissolution is, how the dissolution that is to be performed, what is the dissolution apparatus, what is the acceptance criteria, how to represent graphically the dissolution. Later, we had gone through the weight variation test, how to perform the weight variation test and what is the acceptance criteria for the weight variation test. After weight variation, we had gone through the content uniformity. So dissolution test, disintegration test, content variation or content uniformity, weight variation, all these are the official tests. So this is the acceptance criteria for the weight variation test. Later we saw the disintegration, and while studying the disintegration we had defined the disintegration, the verbatim word to word definition. This is the apparatus which is used for the process of disintegration. This already we had gone through. It will consist of the 6 different plastic tubes, its volume and all construction measurements and specifications we already saw into our previous lecture. We saw the process that is to be carried out for the process of disintegration, and what will happen, suppose in first case the disintegration fails, then we have to go for additional 12 tablet. So out of 12 plus 6, that is 18 tablet, we have to correlate our results with that of the 18 tablet. That means out of 18, if 16 that will disintegrate, that means it will pass as the test for disintegration. Then we saw the, as per monograph, what are the different acceptance criteria for the different types of tablets as far as disintegration is concerned. What will be the time if it is the uncoated tablet, coated tablet, enteric coated tablet, dispersible tablet, soluble tablet, or effervescent tablet? And based on that, we had particularly determined the particular time duration, and based on that, we can go for determining whether the given tablet that will fail or pass, that will be test. So all these are the details already we saw in our previous lecture. Now today what we will see, today we will see the mechanical strength, today we will see the friability and size and shape. So these are the non-official tests. These are not mentioned into the official pharmacopoeia. That's why these are said to be the non-official tests, right? There are official tests, there are unofficial tests. So these tests, that is the mechanical strength of the tablet, it is performed, it is done for assessing the physical stability of the tablet. So tensile strength, hardness, friability, all these are the tests which are said to be the unofficial test, and these are to be performed. Now, as I said that this is in order to measure the hardness. So the tablet is getting compressed across its diameter, subjected to a particular load, and the strength, how much the tablet that has, that is going to be measured into that one. So this is the non-compact DL method, and this is the force required to break the tablet. What the hardness is, what the strength is, it is nothing but the force required in order to break a tablet in a diametric compression test. What is the diametric compression test? It is going to be compressed across its diameter, across its largest length. If the tablet is circle, then diameter, that is the largest strength, largest diameter, and that will be considered as a crushing strength. So the force or the amount of pressure which is required, that is called as the crushing strength. So radial or axial tensile strength, that is the measure in case of the hardness tester. So what the tester that we are using the Monsanto tester, we are using the Pfizer tester, or we are going for using the digital hardness tester. So digital hardness tester, that is used in order to measure the tablet hardness, and generally the hardness which is required in the range of 5 to 8 kg. So 5 to 8 kg, that is the standard ideal requirement of a hardness, of a strength for a particular tablet. Here you can see the different types of the instruments that are used in order to measure the hardness of a tablet. So the first one that is very common, you can see this is the lab scale tester, and in case of most of the lab you will going to find this, and this is said to be the Monsanto hardness tester. The tablet is going to be held like this, then this screw is going to be rotated so that it will exert the pressure onto this, it will exert the pressure onto this so that the tablet that will get crushed, tablet that will get broken at a particular strength, at a particular hardness. And as we will go on moving this it will move into like this direction. So where it will coincide with this graduation mark, these are the kgs, isn't it? Here it is 5 kg, here it is 10 kg, here it is 15 kg, here it is 20 kg. In the same way, there is a meter associated with the tester. This is developed by the Pfizer. You can see here it is going to be compressed, isn't it? So as a result of which the pressure is getting exerted, and as the pressure that will goes on increasing, this hand that will goes on moving like this. So where it will coincide and where the tablet had been broken, that particular measurement is going to be taken. So this is the digital one. Nowadays, in case of most of the advanced industries and institutions, you are going to find this kind of hardness testers. That is the digital. It is operated battery or it is operated electrically, isn't it? So the tablet is going to be held here and it is going to be switched on. So as a result of electric, the pressure is getting generated, and the pressure which is exerted when the tablet that had been broken down, it will be noted digitally onto this particular screen. So there are three different types of the hardness tester: Monsanto, Pfizer, and the digital hardness tester. Next is the friability. Friability, it is nothing but the test that is designed to evaluate the ability of the tablet to withstand the abrasion in packaging, handling, and the shipping, right? So how much the tablet that will withstand, or how much amount of tablet that will undergo wear and tear, that can be understood, that can be measured through the friability test, and it is always expressed in case of the percentage. So the tablet, these are going to be weighed and placed in the Roche friabilator. This is the Roche friabilator. This is the instrument. This is the equipment which is used in order to perform the friability test. So the tablet, these are going to be weighed. Generally 10 tablet, these are going to be taken. These are going to be weighed first of all. Then these are going to be loaded into the Roche friabilator. Then this friabilator, it is going to be rotated, right? So it is going to be rotated at a speed of 25 RPM and for 100 rotations. That means if the speed is 25 RPM, and in order to get the 100 rotation, we have to rotate it for a period of 4 minutes, right? And during this rotation, the tablet is getting fall from a distance of, from a height of 6 inch. So 100 times the tablet is getting fallen at a height of 6 inch. So during this 100 times of falling, how much amount of tablet that has been broken? So that is going to be calculated in the form of the friability. So after friability, after 100 rotation, again the tablet is getting weighed. So the initial weight minus final weight multiplied by 100. So that will give you the percentage friability. So it is weighed again, and percentage loss that is going to be reported, and it should not be more than 100%. So this is the ideal condition for the friability. For a tablet, the friability that should always come less than 1%. Then and then only we can say that the tablet that will pass is the test for friability. If the value that will come more than 1, then it will fail the test for friability. That is not accepted.
In this video, that we are placing the tablets which are pre-weighed into the Roche friabilator. Then the agitation is moved for the time 4 minutes at the rate of 25 RPM. When the rotations are completed, it stops automatically, and then they are taken out.
See, this is the knob which is going to be used in order to adjust the RPM, that is the rotations per minute. And here this is the switch knob, on off. At top it is off, below it is on. Once it will be made on, this light that will get become green, and this it will undergo rotations. So this particular distance, this distance is 6 inch, and every rotation the tablet is getting fall from this distance to this distance.
Weigh again and percent loss reported is determined, and percent loss is determined, and it should be not more than 1%. Okay.
See, here you can see very clearly, this is the knob that is in the on condition. Here they had adjusted the rotations, and this is the plastic drum in which the tablets are going to be placed. You see here, you can clearly see here the tablets are there, and these are getting fall from this distance up to this.
This is the diagrammatic representation of the Roche fibrillator, in which the tablets are fallen from 6 inch height.
Here it is very clearly shown. You can see the tablets are there. So this is the blade, and this distance is the 6 inch. That means the diameter of this drum is how much? Yes, very correct. The diameter that will be the 12 inch. You can see this is the 6 inch, and it will going to be rotated. As it will get rotated, it is getting fallen. So 25 RPM, that is the speed, and it will rotate it for a period of 4 minutes in order to get the 100
and rotated at the 25 rotations per minute. Okay.
The next test, which is unofficial, that is the tablet size and shape. So here the thickness of the tablet, individual tablet, that is going to be measured with a micrometer, and the tablet thickness that should be controlled with plus or minus 5% variation of the standard value. So if the tablet that is going to be differing as far as its thickness is concerned in say 5% limit, then it will going to be accepted. So this is what is all about the total tablet, and here particularly we had completed the evaluation of the tablet. So let's have a recap of all the things that we saw as far as the tablet is concerned. Let's move somewhat fast right from our very first lecture associated with the tablet. So we had gone through the general introduction to that of the tablet, then we saw the ideal characteristics, then the advantages of the tablet, then disadvantages, then the classification, that is the immediate release tablet and the modified release tablet. Then we saw the details of the immediate release, the different examples like say chewable tablet, effervescent tablet, sublingual tablet, buccal tablet, lozenges. We saw the pattern of drug release in case of the conventional tablet and in case of the modified tablets. The modified release, the definition which we saw, which is verbatim, which is given, which is to be written word by word as such. What is the meaning of extended release? If we will go on reducing the twofold reduction into the dosing frequency, such a kind of formulation are said to be the extended release. And this is the delayed release type of formulation. You can see the conventional, the delayed release, immediate release, and the extended release. So this will graph that will show the pattern for the conventional release, sustained release, and the controlled release. Then we saw the excipients. What are the excipients? Based on what these are going to be selected? What is the basis of classification for the excipient? Primary excipient, secondary excipient. What are the diluents? What are the binders? What are the fillers? What are the disintegrant? How they will act? What is the mechanism of action by which they will act? What are the glidant? What is their function? Why these are important? Lubricants. Then anti-adherent. Then we saw the other excipients like say the colors and the flowers. Then we saw the manufacturing of the tablet that can be manufactured by the two-step process. Step 1 blending, step 2 that is the compression. Blending, that is nothing but the mixing and granulation, and compression, that is nothing but the punching, that is nothing but the compression between the upper and lower punch inside of the die cavity. Then we saw the significance of formation of the granulation and mixing. We saw the objectives of granulation, the mechanism of granulation, which will involve the different mechanism like say wetting, nucleation, coalescence, growth, consolidation, attrition, breakage. Then we saw how the tablet that will going to be produced through the process which is said to be the wet granulation, which will require the different stages Like say it will passes through the mixing, that it will passes through the process of addition of the binder, then drying, then again sieving, and for getting the granules. The granule that can be obtained through the multiple step wet granulation process, that is the FWD, where all processes, that is the preheating, granulation and drying, that will occur inside of this granulation. So factors which will affect the process of granulation, these are nothing but the blend factor, binding factor, and the granulation factors. So all these factors, these are responsible, all these factors, they will contribute to the process of granulation. Then we had gone through the dry granulation process. We saw the different stages, that is the milling, mixing, slugging, screening, mixing, and the compression. We saw the different equipment that are used for the process of this. Then some of the new equipment and the techniques. Then we saw the mixing, granulation, and the compression. This is the hand operated machinery. Then tablet punching machinery, the most important tooling, that is said to be the upper punch, lower punch, and the die. So this is the process which has been shown, that how the process of compaction and ejection that will occur. Then we had gone through the punching machine, that is the automated 16 station, 14 station, 49 station, 64 station. Likewise, the compression that will consist of the compression and the consolidation, which will passes through the 4 different stages: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and the phase 4. Phase 1, that is nothing but the volume reduction. Phase 2, that is nothing but the elastic deformation. Phase 3 is the plastic deformation, and phase 4 is the fragmentation, where the bond formation that will occur. Tablet, these are of two different type: uncoated tablet, coated tablet. The coating that will offers the different advantages, like say the protection, like say the modification, like say the masking, like say the what is that one, a, it will stand for the appearance, and then identification and the strength. Then we saw the different coatings: sugar coating, film coating, and the compression coating. Sugar coating, that will pass us through the 5 different stages: sealing, subcoating, smoothing, coloring, polishing, and the printing. And every coating that has its particular purpose for which it is going to be done, right? So film coating, they are of two different types, like say the immediate release, modified release. Immediate, that is the non-functional; modified, that is the functional one. Modified release, that is nothing but the delayed release, extended release. In order to get the coating, we require the polymer plasticizer, we require the colorants, we require the solvents. So this can be done with the help of the FWD, this can be done with the help of the conventional coating pan, right? So the process of compaction, that will consist of the different kind of the bond formation, that is mechanical interlocking, interparticulate attraction forces, and the van der Waals forces, solid bridges. Sometimes they will occur completely, sometimes they will associated with the defects like say the capping, lamination, picking, cracking, mottling, and the double impression. All these are the defects that are very commonly observed in case of the tablets. We had gone through the details of every defect, that what are their causes, what are their remedies, and how these are going to be treated. Then the process by which we can go for the process of the third kind of coating, which is said to be the compression coating, which is substituted to that of the tablet, that is going to be compressed within the coating material, that is the tablet within the tablet. And further we saw the coatings. So coating, that is also associated with the defects if it will not occur perfectly, that is the pinning, pitting, cracking, blooming, blistering, blushing, chipping, color variation, crattering, infilling, picking, and the orange fill. So all different details, their causes, their remedies, all these we had saw in our subsequent lectures, right? And in last, we had gone through the process of the quality control. In order to get the quality, there is a need to perform the quality control test, which is to be performed by the quality assurance and the quality control department. So 3 different methods are official, which are said to be the evaluation method: dissolution, disintegration, content variation, content uniformity, and the wet variation. So all these are the official QC tests. Unofficial QC tests are the mechanical strength, that is the hardness, tensile strength, friability, tablet size, shape, thickness, and the average weight of the tablet. So we had gone through all these in sufficient details: the dissolution, how the process of dissolution that will occur, then the acceptance criteria for all these, right? So these are the details that already we saw in our previous lecture.